Hello, welcome. So today we are going to be looking at 30 minutes for getting into the hips. And our hips are going to help us, especially in these kind of longer hold poses that we find in a wind down, to just feel more supple through the day. And of course, the hips don't lie. So we're going to start with a little bit of a charge to begin with. And then we're going to move into a little bit more opening to finish. So let's go ahead, start at the front of your mat. Just take a moment to ground down through your feet. Take a moment to turn the palms open towards the front of the mat, either focusing your eyes on something in front of you or lowering and closing. Find the big toe, little toe pressing into the ground. Arches of the feet in tension of lifting away from the earth. Kneecaps drawing in and up towards the thighs, engaging the thighs and drawing the pelvic floor in and up, pressing the pelvis forwards. Feel as if there's a string pulling from the top of your head up towards the sky as your spine lengthens. And feel the shoulders rolling away from the ears. Start to take your first few intentional breaths of this practice. Standing steady, tall in Tadasana, the mountain pose. And as you inhale, start to draw your breath all the way down through the heart, through the stomach, down towards the pelvis. And as you exhale, squeeze the navel center in, lift the pelvic floor, and send that breath, that energy back up through the stomach, the heart, the throat, the nose. Inhaling, almost as if there was like a ladder climbing down to oxygenate the very base of the body, the hips, the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, squeezing the pelvic floor, drawing the navel center in and helping the energy to shift up, up, up. Beautiful. Inhaling down. Exhale, squeezing in. Beautiful. Very gently bringing the hands to the heart center. And let's start with our charge. So gently opening the eyes. We're going to inhale, send the hands up to the sky. Deep breath, chin up, look up. And as you exhale, folding forwards, dropping the hands down towards the ground. We're just going to get some movement flowing into the body. So we're going to bring the hands onto the shins. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, just folding back down. You can bend the knees generously at this point. Beautiful. Inhale, draw a big circle, coming back up towards the sky. Inhale, hands up, chin up, look up. Exhale to the heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, hands coming up, chin up, look up. Exhale, squeeze the navel center in, squeeze the pelvic floor in, hands down to the ground. Chin tucks. Beautiful. Inhale, hands coming to the shins, flat back. Exhale, folding back down. From the ground, bend the knees. Big sun circle coming back up, round to the sides. Hands coming back up to the sky, looking up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands coming down to the heart center. We're going to come into the final round now. Inhaling, hands coming up, chin up, look up. Exhale, squeeze the navel center in, pull the pelvic floor in and up, plant the hands down. Chin tucks in. Beautiful. Generous bend in the knees is okay. Inhale, straighten through the legs, hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale, folding down, folding down, folding down, belly on the thighs. Beautiful. Inhale, big sun circle, deepest breath you've taken all day, all the way up to the sky. Looking up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Alrighty, let's go ahead, step the right foot back behind us. So we're here we're in our kind of warrior stance, in our Virabhadrasana stance. The right toes are facing the front right corner of the mat. We're going to bring the right hand onto the right hip. And see as you do this, if the hip is facing to the side, see as you turn the hips towards the front parallel two corners of the mat, how that affects this posture. So from here, we're kind of plugging down with that right foot. We're going to inhale, look up. And as we exhale, we're going to lean forwards towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. So we're staying with that front leg straight. If we can have a little micro bend in there so it's not overstraining. Inhaling now, we're going to release the hands from the hips, option. We can start to bring them forwards towards the front of the mat. Draw the left hip back and the right hip forwards. Nice. Exhale, flow with the hands back. Squeeze the navel center in, pull the pelvic floor in and up. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor, big breath for the belly. Beautiful. Last round, exhale, drawing left hip back, right hip forwards, hands back, chin tucked. Nice. Inhale now, reaching forwards as far forwards as you can. Beautiful. Exhale, hands are going to drop down towards the ground. You can bend through the knee or you can keep the leg straight. If you would like to play a little with this, you can practice kind of straightening and bending through that front leg. Option here, as always, you can use blocks, 1 or 2 blocks on the sides of the legs, just to give you that little extra height. Now, here, this is another place that we can check into the hips. So see here, if you can draw the left hip back and roll the right hip forwards. You can turn the back toes to face slightly more forwards rather than to 45 degrees. Nice. And if you're finding still a static posture, then you can inhale, come up onto the fingertips. And as you exhale, you might start to bend down towards the legs, chin tucking in towards the chest. You can inhale, lift the heart up, and exhale, bend through the elbows. Beautiful. Last round, inhale up. Exhale, bend through the elbows. Nice. Let's go ahead, bend through that left knee. We're going to keep the back heel up and we're going to lift the hands up towards the sky. So getting a little bit of more of a charge here. Interlace the 3 fingers, keep the pointing fingers facing up towards the sky, and almost as if there was someone pulling up the hands. So the insides of the arms are squeezing up towards the sides of the head. Beautiful. Keep pressing down through that back leg. Keep leaning forwards. As you lean forwards, you'll feel this posture moving into your hips. So you can even shuffle the back foot slightly more back and bring the hips a little bit further down. Beautiful. So this is a charge and this is also a stretch. Inhale now. If you can, inhale looking up, chin up. Exhale, bending through the elbows. Elbows going to come to the left side of the thigh. Hands are going to unlock and come palm to palm. Squeeze the navel center in and turn the heart towards the hands. Inhale, deep breath, belly into thigh. Exhale, press the elbow into the thigh into the belly into the spine. Option, if you wish to, you can take the chin and look over the left shoulder, changing your drishti point. Find a point to focus your attention. Beautiful. Inhaling, deep breath. Back of the leg, back leg straight. Beautiful. Exhale, squeezing. This is the last round. Inhaling. Exhale and squeezing. Nice. Let's go ahead. Gently rest the hands down and drop this right knee down. Now, from here, we can either keep that back toe tucked or we can flatten it. And this is a posture here in and of itself. So we can press the foot into the ground. Once again, you have your choice to bring your blocks to the sides of the feet just to give a little bit more height. You can also come up onto your fingertips. Toes, back foot is pressing into the ground. Hips are leaning forwards. Really getting into the front side of the hips, the length there. Nice. Go for a few more deep breaths, sending the breaths here to where you feel length forming. Nice. And then gently drawing the right hip back and walking this left hip back too. So you can do this again, moving hip forwards, moving hip back. And this is really helping to get a little bit more mobility into this area. An option after a few kind of moves back and forth is that you can find a place to be still if you wish, sitting the hips back and leaning the arms forwards. The arms can stay around the sides of the leg. So this is going to move a little bit further down into the hamstring. Sometimes when the hamstrings are tight, they can play a little havoc with the hips as well. So we're just working on lengthening around the muscles down the legs as well today, just to get everything long and flowing and supple. You can move the hands around down into a bind, releasing the head down towards the leg if you wish. Point the toes up, whichever option you are taking. Breathe generously, bend through the elbows on your exhale. Each exhale allowing you to move deeper and deeper and deeper. Nice. So let's go ahead. Inhale, lifting the head up, planting that left foot forwards. We're going to lift the right the hip up, propping up on the back leg. And we're going to come up here into standing. We're going to come into a final balance on this left side. So keeping the back heel up, and you're going to kind of use this as your spring. So you can even practice there, like lifting and putting down the heel. And this is your spring because you're going to be moving your balance into your front leg. So on 3, 2, 1, focus your eyes without thinking, trace the foot along the length of the mat and lift it off of the mat. The hands are going to come out to the sides. You're going to lean as far forwards as you feel steady to do so. So the aim here is balance. It doesn't matter what or where the posture is forming, as long as you feel your balance is resting steady, stable, strong. The foundation of your feet, toes pressing into the ground, arch lifting away from the earth. Beautiful, small micro bend is okay. Pointing the toes. Nice, arms out, taking a flight any way you want to go. Can you lean a little bit further? 3, 2, 1. Gently releasing the right foot down. And let's move this into the hips. So hips moving forwards, over to the right side, hips moving back, and over to the front again. Nice, and just continuing to move that beautiful energy that you have created through these postures, through this length. And you might even find a little bit of a difference as you move from left to right, already between both sides. Nice. Just taking a note of anything that comes up, even if it feels a little bit silly. It's okay, this is the place for it. Really giving opportunity for the hips to move in ways they may not usually. Nice. Integrating. And then gently come on up into the center. And we're going to go and step the left foot back. Nice. So we've got the left toes facing up towards the front left corner. We've got the right leg straight and hands are on the hips. Again, it can be kind of the hips naturally align in the kind of direction of the feet here, but we're going to give that extra bit of encouragement here to bring the hips towards the front two corners of the mat. And this is a nice drill that you can use anytime you set yourself up in your Virabhadrasana or in your warrior poses. So here we are. We're going to just keep the toes pressing into the ground and inhale, look up, chin up. Exhale, leaning forwards, draw the navel center in. Beautiful. Find a place to be still. We have our pyramid kind of formation coming here. So we're going to release the hands option. We can bring the hands forwards towards the front of the mat. You can add a little micro bend in the front knee, so it doesn't need to fully lock. As you exhale, hands come back, navel center draws in, pelvic floor draws in and up. Beautiful. Inhale, filling the belly with air. Exhale, squeezing the navel center in. Should be able to hear your breath through the nose as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhaling, hands coming forwards, deep breath. And this time, exhale, hands are going to come down towards the sides of the legs. Perhaps you use a block on each side. You can come up onto the fingertips if you don't have prop. And again, if there is a lot of strain here, just feel free to add a small micro bend. You can also play with bending and straightening through that front leg. So here we go, attention back to the hips. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. So you're kind of trying to square off the hips again, similar to how you did before. So you may continue with the kind of more moving posture if you're getting familiar with this, or if you're finding is still a static posture, then you'll inhale, come up to your fingertips. And as you exhale, you'll bend through your elbows, surrendering the heart and the head towards the leg. And you may wish to, again, flow a few times. Deep breaths and exhales to allow yourself to fold a little bit closer. Nice. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, folding down. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead now, bend into this front knee. Just shift the left foot back slightly, and we're going to inhale, coming up, 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 up. So back heel is still lifted. Fingers are going to interlace, the two fingers and the thumb are crossed, and we're going to bring the fingers up towards the sky, squeezing the sides of the head with the arms, lifting the head up, and we're going to shift the foot back. We're going to sink the hips a little bit further down here. Nice. Inhale, deep breath, lifting. Exhale, left elbow over to the right side, pressing the hands together. So here we have deep breath, belly into the thigh. And as we exhale here, we press the elbow into the leg into the belly into the spine, squeezing. Nice. Inhale, deep breath, opening. Exhale, sink the hips, sink the hips, sink the hips. You may wish to turn your chin over towards the right shoulder. Last round of breath, steady the eyes. Sink the hips. Beautiful. And with the next inhale, we're going to inhale, hands coming up. Can you feel that charge? And exhale, hands are going to come down towards the ground. Again, you can have your option of using your block here. You can keep the back toe tucked, or you can flatten out the back foot. Just take a moment to keep leaning here, the hips forwards. You'll feel the length now forming around the left side body. Inhaling down to that length. Exhale, softening. Inhaling down. Similar to how we were doing before in our mountain pose, sending that breath down, down, down the mountain. And as you exhale, releasing the hips. Beautiful. Final round of breath. And then we might start to journey back and forth. Again, we can bring our blocks with us if we're using the blocks to help us. Just seeing how that feels with some movement this time. And then, perhaps, we may continue like so, or we might take a moment to sit the hips back and either drawing the hands kind of around the sides of the leg or starting to walk them a little bit further forwards. You might take a bind. And whichever option you're taking, check back into your hips again. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forwards. Point the toes up towards the sky. Feel the posture deepen as you do this. Then bring your awareness into your breath, inhaling as you open into the belly. Exhale as you bend through the elbows, surrendering the head towards the leg. Inhaling, belly. Exhale and folding. Inhale and belly. Exhale and folding. Beautiful. Gently start to lift the head. Go ahead, plant the right foot down. Come back forwards. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knee up. And we're going to inhale. We're going to bring the hands back up. Nice. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands down to the hips. And we're going to practice again this kind of lift off. So just kind of recalling what it is. It's a deep breath. And with the exhale, you're tracing the foot along the floor and then lifting up. Okay? So we're going to do this together. So the reason why I count you in is to stop you thinking. Okay? So 3, 2, 1. Transfer the weight into the right foot, trace the left foot and lift it off of the mat. Nice. You can retain the hands at the waist or you can bring the hands out to the sides. Maintaining your balance by focusing your eyes. Point the left toes. Beautiful. Leaning forwards. Can you lean a little bit further forwards? Taking a flight anywhere you want to go. Charging through that right leg. Deep breaths. Left hip down, right hip in line. Beautiful. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Gently returning this left foot down to the right. Let's shake up that big pot of magic. This time moving the hips over to the right side. Leaning the hips back. Over to the left side and forwards again. Over to the right side. Back. Left side. And forwards again. Just continuing like this for a few more rounds. Moving that charge around the body, dispersing it. Beautiful. So just coming into standing position, just bringing the hands out in front of you, lowering or closing the eyes. Let's take a moment to just check back into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Toes pressing into the ground, heel pressing into the ground, arches lifting away. Knees lifting up towards the thighs, checking into any difference you feel through the body from the beginning of the class. Pelvis pressing forwards, pelvic floor lifting in and up. Crown of the head lifting up towards the sky as you feel the head, the heart, the pelvis align through the lengthened spine. Shoulders relaxed, fingertips open, hands facing forwards. Take your breath now and draw it almost like an elevator from the head down into the base of the body. Energizing with the breath, and as you exhale, squeeze the pelvic floor, draw the navel center in and help lift that energy you've cultivated back up through the body into the mind. Inhale, oxygenating. And exhale, squeezing and lifting. So this process is called transmutation. It's a beautiful practice of learning how to cultivate and move energy around the body. Beautiful. Continuing 1 to 2 more breaths just like this. Feeling strong, feeling steady, feeling grounded in your mountain. Beautiful. And very gently drawing the hands towards the heart center. Opening the eyes and slowly lifting the heels, focusing the eyes somewhere steady. Lifting the heels, and slowly now, keeping your eyes fixed, the hands at the heart, the navel center drawn in, start to make your way down, hips moving towards the feet. So we're going to end in our final posture for today, which is our big wide-legged squat, our garland pose. So the elbows are going to press to the insides of the legs and the hands are going to stay at the heart center. Now there's a couple of options for you because the heels may stay lifted, in which case you can roll the mat a couple of times, or you can use a blanket and you can place the heels down on the mat behind you. Another option is if this is feeling not too nice for the hips right now, you can bring a block and you can just use a block to help prop the hips whilst your ankles and your heels are getting used to the posture. So whichever option you are taking, please get there in your own way, listening to your body. Press the elbows to the insides of the legs, the hands stay at the heart center, and with this strong and steady frame of the arms, which are propping up the legs, allow your hips to soften, allow your hips to relax. You can stay with a steady gaze at a point on the ground, or if you wish to, if you feel steady to do so, you can lower or close the eyes. Take the drishti point, the focus inside. Inhaling. Exhale, relax the hips. Inhaling, lift the crown. Exhale, relax the hips. Last round, inhaling. Exhale and softening. Very gently opening the eyes, removing any props if you were using them, and then gently coming down into a comfortable seated position. And you may find also that it is more comfortable to sit in your postures. Asana means a seated position, actually, and that's because the whole practice is preparing us for the seat of meditation. So inviting you here to take Sukhasana, a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you, to lower or close the eyes, to feel the hips resting down to the earth, the shoulders relaxed, the head, the heart, the pelvis aligned. And knowing that you're here now, present with the body, meditating with the breath, watching the slightly cooler inhales and slightly warmer exhales. And knowing that all postures lead to this point, the seats of meditation. Very gently, drawing the hands at the heart center, sending any final thoughts, wishes, prayers from your heart into your hands. And from your heart, bringing the hands up to the head for a final nourishing breath in. Exhale and gently bowing to close our practice. Thank you so much. I hope this 30-minute technical practice serves you through the week. I'm sending you so much love. See you on the mat again soon. Check into the community group. Would love to know how you find these practices. Sending all my love. Bye-bye.